Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Akil and I just got done watching The Wasp Bus and I've now seen every movie I wanted to this year, guys. Thank God. Usually there's like one or two movies I miss, but this is probably the first time maybe ever that I've seen everything I wanted to, which is amazing. So there's that. And overall, I gotta say personally, I loved it. I thought The Wasp Bus was great and I might actually like it better than Avatar because unlike Avatar, it wasn't that long, so there's that. But I still thought find that there are some issues that are worth noting and talking about, but we'll get into that in the negatives. But for now, I'm going to say that it was a great movie. So jumping into my pre-rating score, I'm going to say that The Last Bus is a great movie. Like I just said, I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was well done. Shout out to Paul Greengrass. This man knows what he's doing from the stuff I've seen from him at least. So there's that. Now, in terms of story, it's based on the 2018 California wildfires that happened in Paradise. And man, the fact that this actually happened is crazy. I don't know to what extent uh maybe they took some liberties in terms of of him getting the kids to safety and all that, but it is a crazy true story. And all I'm gonna say is that Matthew McConaughey plays this bus driver and he's on the bus and the school teacher is played by America Ferrera, and basically uh they want to make sure that the kids are safe and the kids are also on the bus, but they're also worried and all that, and they're surrounded by all these bushfire. And it's crazy. It's a crazy true story. And again, the fact that something this actually happened is wild. It just goes to show that throughout time, even some of the most recent stuff that happened could be made into very interesting little movies. And this was an interesting little movie, even though it was not, short, But regardless, I thought it was still very well done. And I don't know, I wasn't there obviously when it happens, and thank God I wasn't. I mean, if anyone was there, that's really unfortunate. But regardless, the fact that this actually happened is crazy. So there's that. But basically, they're on the bus for pretty much almost the entire runtime, and they're trying to get to safety. Now, in terms of the positives, by far the best part of this movie is the tension. There's some genuine tension. Like you feel it, especially towards the second half of the movie. You're like, oh my god, like are these guys gonna get to safety or not? Like it's crazy, like how well done and well crafted this movie is in terms of the tension. And again, shout out to Paul Greengrass for doing that. Even in terms of script, him and the other writer who wrote the script, shout out to them for doing it. And the fact that Jamie Lee Curtis is also one of the producers of this movie as well as Jason Blum, that's kind of shocking. But hey, I guess this is one of those crazy collabs that I guess maybe was meant to be, and especially for this type of movie. So there's that. And another thing in terms of positives, the acting was very well done. Matthew McConaughey, from what I've seen, and as always continues to really do a damn good job. And America Ferrera, I mean, I think I've only seen her voice Astrid in the How to Train the Dragon movie, so this might be the first time I see her in real life, and she did a great job playing the school teacher here. And finally, for positives, I love the realism. There's two types of movies that feel like this. There's movies that are based on true events that maybe feel a bit Hollywoodized, and then there's movies that just captured very well. I think this is definitely the latter. It felt very realistic, even in terms of the way like the firemen were talking about that. I don't know. It just I love when they like make it feel as realistic possible, and they don't try to Hollywoodize it, even though maybe at times it did, but I didn't really notice that. That was just me personally. However, going into the negatives now, I feel like the biggest problem of this movie is the pacing. At times it can slow down a little too much, but overall I do still think that the movie was well paced enough, and it wasn't that long, Like yesterday when I saw Avatar, that felt long, but this, it wasn't that dragged out, I would say. And then finally for negatives, I do want to point out one other thing, and this is maybe just me nitpicking at this point, but I will say there's a lack of depth given to the kids. I feel like only one of the kids, I won't say which it is, who it is, that'll be spoiled in terms of names and stuff, but there's one of the kids that I feel like they do touch on briefly, but in terms of like who they are and all that, but everyone else, like, they're just like random kids, and I feel like it would have made it more intense and harrowing if the kids actually had a little more to do and they'd just be screaming and yelling the whole time. But I get it though, for the movie that they're trying to go for. But anyway, I still love the movie. I thought it was very well done. As a final score overall, I'm going to give The Lost Bus an 8 out of 10. I thought it was great. Is it my favorite movie of the year? No, but it's definitely one of my favorites. So there's that. But guys, that's it. That's all I have to say for now. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. My top 10 favorite movies of the year list will be out very soon. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. And as for Hunter x Hunter, I don't know if I'm actually going to finish it. So there's that. And my TV ranking should also be out soon. So this is that. But guys, that's all I have to say for now. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. My name's Akil, otherwise known as the Comic Director, and I'm signing out.